Now let's clear the background and set the background color. So we can do that with the help of screen dot fill, and here we are going to set the color which is black. Okay, you can choose any color. Now whatever the code we will write for drawing primitives, we will write it outside the for loop, but we will write that code inside the while loop. So we will continue from here. So let's draw some of the shapes. So let's start with rectangle. Okay, so the syntax: pygame dot draw dot rectangle, and here we are going to pass some parameters. The first parameter is the surface on which you want to draw the rectangle. Now our surface is this. We have created a display like pygame.display.setMode, and we have passed the size. This is our screen. Okay, so I'll change the name of variable. I'll keep it simple, disp. So this is the surface on which I want to draw the rectangle. So first you need to pass the surface. The second thing is you need to pass the color. So either you can pass the tuple like 0, 255, 0, or you can directly write the name of the color which you want to use. Okay, so I'm just going to write the name of the color here directly. Then you have to pass the x and y coordinates for the rectangle. Here we are going to pass the top left corner and bottom right corner coordinates. So let's pass any coordinates for now. Okay, so after setting the coordinates, then you can also pass the width. So this width parameter allows you to create a hollow rectangle. And if you don't pass this width, then the solid rectangle will be created. Okay, so we are going to create two types of rectangle. One is hollow and another one is solid rectangle. So here we are going to draw the outline of rectangle only. Okay, and the another rectangle we are going to draw is the solid one. The syntax will be same, but we will change the coordinates, as well as the last parameter, which is width, will be removed. So if you want to draw a solid rectangle, then just delete this value, and by default the width is set to 0. Okay, so when we pass the value which is greater than 0, in that case the outline of rectangle is created and it is not filled properly. Now change the values so that we get this rectangle at some other location. 160, 20, 70, 30. Okay, so in this way we have created two rectangles. One is outline rectangle and another one is solid rectangle. Now let's create another shape which is ellipse. So let's comment out ellipse. Okay, so to draw ellipse, we again have to use pygame.draw.ellipse. And in this ellipse, we have to pass the same parameter. The first one is the surface screen on which you want to draw the rectangle. That is the display. The second thing is you can set the color. So I want white color. And then you have to pass the rectangle coordinates here. Okay. So let's pass. You have to pass the 4 rectangle coordinates. Okay, so after passing the rectangle coordinates, the ellipse will be drawn accordingly. And if you want to draw a solid ellipse, you know what you have to do now. You have to just change the value of the width. If you keep the value of width greater than 0, then you will get the hollow ellipse. If you don't set any value, if your width is equal to 0, then you will get the solid ellipse. Okay. The next thing is we will draw a polygon now. To draw the polygon, we have to follow the same procedure, which is pygame.draw.polygon. And here we are going to set the value of polygon. The first is the surface. I want to draw a polygon on a display which I have created now. So the value is disp. The second thing is I need to pass the color of polygon. So I want to set red color, or you can use any other color, like for example yellow. Then you have to pass 3 or more coordinates. So polygon is basically an enclosed area. So there should be 3 or more coordinates. So polygons are triangle, hexagon, pentagon. So these are all polygons, enclosed area. So you have to pass the coordinates more than 3 or equal to 3. So I am going to draw a rectangle. So that's why I'll pass the 3 points. So you have to pass that 3 points in the square brackets in the form of a list, like 100, 100. This is the one coordinate I'm going to pass. Another is 0, 200, and third is 200, 200. Okay. And in the similar way, you can change the width size. So I will get a hollow triangle in this case. Now let's draw circle. To draw a circle, we have to use pygame dot draw dot circle, and here you need to pass the first parameter is the screen surface. So this is display. Then set the color. Instead of writing the color name, I'm going to write the color code. So let's try this color. Okay, so basically this is a tuple which is RGB format. So this is R, G and B. So you can set the values accordingly to get the color. Now another parameter you need to pass is the coordinates, the radius, and then finally you have to pass the width. Okay, so center point and radius we are going to pass. Now the next thing is we are going to draw a line. So basically to draw a line, we can create different types of line. So there are anti-aliased line. So anti-aliased line means smooth lines, and aliased lines means the jagged lines or stair step lines. So if you want to create a normal line, then we will go for pygame.draw.line. So line pygame.draw.line, and here first thing is I need to pass the surface, then I need to set the color which is blue, then I need to pass the starting point and the end point of the line. So starting point is 0, 0 is the first point, and the next point is, for example, 20, 30. Okay, and width parameter which is optional. In the case of circle, this is the center point and this is the radius. So I'm going to change the radius. Okay, this is the center point and this is the radius. So this is the line parameters which we have set. So it will draw a line for us. The next type of line is if you want to draw a multiple contiguous lines, then you can do that with the help of pygame.draw.lines. So with the help of this, you can draw the multiple lines but which are contiguous. Okay, so let's copy paste this, and we will do some changes in the code itself. So write here lines and pygame.draw.lines. Okay, so display dot comma, now just change the color here. I'm going to draw this white line, and if you are going to pass more coordinates, then you have to pass it in the double square brackets. So this is the first point, this is the second point, and let's write one more point here. Okay, now after drawing the multiple lines, we are going to draw now anti-aliased lines. Anti-aliased lines means the smooth lines. So if you want to draw the smooth lines, then we can do that with the help of the AA lines function. So anti-aliasing is generally used in fast game so that curved edges, shadows, filters look smooth and realistic. And also we can avoid the stair step lines or jagged objects or edges. Okay, so AA lines, anti-aliasing lines. So the syntax is pygame dot draw dot AA lines, and here the first thing is surface, the another thing is the color, the next thing is we need to pass the coordinates of the line. So let's draw a straight line and set the boolean value. Okay, so these are the different parameters which we have set to draw a line. And this is not capital, it should be in small letters. Okay, now finally let's draw the last primitive, which is arc. So again we can use pygame dot draw dot arc, and here we are going to pass the parameter. The first thing is we are going to set the screen, then we are going to set the color. So I'm going to use yellow color. Then you have to pass the rectangle coordinates like x and y coordinates here. So let's pass any coordinates. And then finally we are going to pass the angle like start angle and end angle for the rectangle. So this is the start angle and this is the end angle for the rectangle, and again the width parameter, which is optional. Now finally we must need to update the background in the while loop if you want to check the output. So update the screen with what we have drawn. So this must happen after all the drawing commands are done. So this screen will update according to the clock ticks. So the clock tick is 20. After 20 frames per second, the screen will update. So there are two parameters to update the screen. First is the update and another one is the flip method. So you can use any one of these. So if you want to update the entire screen, go for flip. If you want to update just some areas of the screen, then go for update. So it is actually present in the display class. And then finally we are going to quit the game. So pygame.quit method not only just quits the deallocates the resources which are acquired by the pygame, and it also uninitializes the models which are initialized before. And at the end you can also write the quit command to exit or to close down the program. Okay, you can also remove this. So this is the program which we have created for pygame. Now let's run this code and see what happens. We got first error, which is unexpected intent. Let's run this. We got another error, which is set mode. So underscore should be there. Let's run this. Name screen is not defined. I have used screen somewhere. Screen.field. Yeah. It should be display.field, not screen. So close this because it's... So in this case, you can restart and clear output and again run the program. Okay. So we got the output here. It's not responding. So let's restart it and check the output. Black is not defined. We are getting this error because we have not defined the color. So first we need to define the color with codes as well. So let's define the color. So the color code for the black is 0,0,0. The next is for white. The color code is 255, 255, 255. This is the RGB format. We are creating a tuples. Then let's set the value for blue, which is 0, 0, 255. Then red is equal to 255 comma 0 comma 0. Okay. So now let's try to run this one more time. First we will restart it. We will clear the output and then we will run it one more time. So let's run it. We got the output. We need to restart kernel. Green is not defined. Okay. So we need to define the green color as well. Let's restart and clear output. See, this is the output which we got. We got ellipse, circle, this is the solid circle, rectangle, solid rectangle, line, this is the smooth line. So this is the AA lines which we have drawn, anti-aliasing lines, and this is the normal lines. Okay. So in this way you can create different color codes and for the graphics, and you can create the drawing primitives. Okay. So as I clicked the cross button, this function gets invoked, which is pygame.quit, and the program terminates and the modules are uninitialized.